Ugh, you disagree with me when you know I'm always right. Ugh. So hello everyone, happy Friday to you all. I'm going to be going through your comments from yesterday on my video to those who disagree. And it was a call to action for everyone who disagrees to let me know what you disagree with. And guess what? There was literally hardly anything. So that leads me to believe that the people who truly disagree, yeah, they don't really too much disagree now, do they? Because they don't care about speaking up or voicing their opinion. There are two people who said conflicting things. One person in particular I will be diving deep into, and we'll see just how manipulative some of these people actually are, okay? And we'll see what this person has done to manipulate the situation. And it is interesting. So hopefully you can spot it without me telling you all the little details, but let's just read over the other ones first now, shall we? So Jessica says, you have a great attitude towards the haters. If someone disagrees with you on any topic, it floors me that people write rude, persistent things. They obviously have no life if they have to come to a public forum to be negative. They must be pretty miserable inside to pass negative judgment on anything you say or do, or to come on here and bash your lifestyle choices as far as being transgender. When I started watching, I saw a person, not genitals. There is a difference between being negative and constructed criticism, being hurtful or helpful. If someone doesn't like your content, then why do they keep coming back? Do they want attention and know if they say something demeaning, they will get it? Because we all know drama and being hurt gets a lot more attention than being kind and supportive. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so very much for that positivity and those positive words. And indeed, you are very, very right about that. It's not just me, but anyone who has the time to be negative is a self-reflection of self. If you go online and be negative and be hurtful to other people, guess what? You're the one who has some sort of inner conflict. You know, I myself, I get mean and hateful and nasty sometimes. Like I feel negativity within me for things that I've done and said, and you know, my life being a certain way. Maybe something bad happens that day, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm just kind of agitated and stressed out. But guess what? I'm not going to go online and be blaming it on someone else here and say, all these mean and hateful things. I may think it internally, but guess what? Action is different from thought, okay? Because how you think of something, it may not necessarily be the same there. Let me see if I can move into better lighting here. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Jessica. So our next comment here is from Meridian Heights ASMR. I am so tangled up here, you just don't even know, but I'm just going to keep reading it. Hi, Al. Sure, we all have a few topics that I disagree with you about, but it's no big deal. I like your attitude. I like the way you speak your mind. Even if it's a bit controversial sometimes, but you are a very interesting personality, easy on the eyes, very cute, have a good faith conversation of a high importance to me. The world would be a better place if people could refine their skills at participating in good faith conversations. Rock on. Don't go changing. I love you just the way you are. Yes, I have a crush on you. Well, thank you there, Meridian Heights. So, again, you have to be you. You have to not be controlled by other people. You have to just be you. Okay? And that is the excellent point that this person is making here. Be you. Don't let others determine how you are. And honestly, yeah, it just as Jessica said, drama and being hurtful gets a lot more attention. It really does. It's sad. It's sad. So, again, when you're just being you, maybe you won't be as successful as the person who's a narcissist and arrogant, okay? Those are the most successful people, in all honesty. That's how the world is run. But are those people happy? No, those people are not happy. So would you rather be happy and, not have much, or would you rather be very unhappy and very well known and powerful? Think of it like that. Promise Road said, I really like this video topic idea. I think addressing what people disagree with, those who are reasonable about it, is smart. I'm racking my brain for topics I disagree with you on, but none are coming to mind. I think you're very level-headed and see into deeper areas of things than most people. I'm also that way, so your videos always interest me. You do not have a sheep-like mentality. You look for your own reasons to believe or not believe something. That is a quality I appreciate in all humans. Well, thank you again so very much, Promise Roads. So again, there's a lot of people here who can't really find something to disagree with me on. Not that you don't, okay? It's good to disagree. That's what makes us all different. But where are the people who disagree? Where are the people who are, thumbing down my videos? Where are they? Please. If you're going to say you disagree with someone, you can't. A lot of these people do not have any sort of explanation, and we will get to that in just a moment. The last comment here, I will mention that. I'm going to skip over it for now. It's actually the next one, but I will address it at the very end. But you're absolutely right. Joel says, I disagree with you on global warming, but really I've been following you for years now, so I respect your opinion, but it's real. So Joel, I'm not sure where I expressed my opinion regarding that. I know I did make a little bit of a video regarding that. I did talk about that. But I don't know where I said it wasn't real. Okay, global warming is a very real thing that's been happening before humans existed, okay? And by global warming, I just meant climate change in general, okay? The climate goes through changes. Ice, hot, okay? That's the cycle of the world, okay? So I'm not sure what is specifically you're disagreeing with me on, but thank you for sharing that. Now, I do believe that, human beings can contribute to this in some way with all the toxic environmental things, as well as, what is sprayed in the air and the chemtrails and everything. That is all directly related to this, cover up of this global warming thing. But again, it is a very real thing, and I do believe that we should be treating the environment with respect. I don't think all these toxic chemicals should be going into the environment. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly what you disagree on, but whatever it is, thank you for sharing that. It's good to share. It is good to share that. So Lava Girl says, I've had a comment that was different than your opinion, or felt you were harsher than I would be in old situations, but I've grown as a person and I just accept those differences. So I'm not sure exactly what comment that was, but disagreeing is a good thing. As I said, disagreeing is a good thing. I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone, but let's just say that, I would to get offensive to someone, when then I do apologize for that. I don't intend to do that, but I don't intend to do that to anyone. Okay. And then Scotty says, I agree with this video. All right. So let's actually address the actual question here. Of someone who I'm going to read you the whole thread, and I want you to see if you can catch on the manipulative tactic that this person did, okay? Let's see if you can understand, okay? So the first comment is, in quotes, to those who watch this. You average 150 views per video. Who's watching? My comment back was, obviously you are, Sam. Sam says, I miss the days of Automaster 2015 2017. Your videos were so entertaining and calming to watch. You talked about things that weren't negative or controversial. You were professional and didn't try to upset anyone. Now I feel like most of your content is complaining about things. Also, your personality significantly changed. It's kind of upsetting, to be honest. You were one of my favorite YouTubers, and now you're faded into nothing. My response, thanks for sharing your opinion and views. Yes, I have made significant positive changes and grown into someone who is truly happy compared to how I was in the past. It appears you haven't watched any of my recent content, such as pushing through hard times and staying true to yourself, why your attention span is so short, the source of your abandonment fears, how to remedy them, 5 easy steps to manifest your desires, how I deal with depression. The list goes on. I'm not sure what complaining you are referring to in this content. Perhaps you can send me examples, quotes of what I've said that you deem as complaining. Just trying to understand your perspective, since you appear to want to reminisce on my past self, which was very unhappy, and now that I'm happy, you don't wish to see that. Perhaps that's not how you view it, but that's the way it's been projected. Also, the world has changed. Everything these days is controversial, and people get offended so easily. You hear it all the time where more and more people are getting offended over something. So perhaps the change in the world has shaped your perspective of me, which has stayed true to myself and doesn't take offense like others do. So think about that for a moment. Go back to the video if you need to. Pause this video here. Go back to the previous video and read over it to yourself and see if you can understand the manipulative type of comment there. Okay, and see what this person is really trying to do. There was no response back to that, by the way, because these people, when they say something and I question them on it, like, can you give me exact examples of what you're referring to? They can either never do it, or when they do it, they give an example of something completely unrelated for the most part, that doesn't really add up to what their initial statement was. Like, oh, I thought there was another one. I don't know where it is. Okay, because most of the time they're just making stuff up. They're just pulling stuff out of invisible hat that doesn't even exist. Okay, so again, Sam, I don't know how legitimate your comment is here, but to me, it seems like you are doing this in a way to try to manipulate my mind into making me feel bad. Okay, that's what you're trying to do with this comment, and let's analyze this and let's debunk this as to why this person is doing this. Okay, number one. I was going to show you. Number one here, they begin with this comment. Okay, they begin with this remark that's kind of like, oh, you know, I'm going to put you down. Like, who's watching your videos? 150 views per video? Who's watching? No one's watching. And again, you know, obviously you are. Yeah, obviously you are. And then they just, you know, they write all this, and then I respond back. So let's just say, okay, so they first begin with some snarky comment, okay? Kind of, you know, oh, who's watching you? No one's watching you. Who cares what you have to say? No one's watching. No one cares. Okay. So then, after I reply back to that, they say, I miss the days, 2015, 2017. Okay. So they're reminiscing on something 2 to 5 years ago almost. Okay. Your videos were so entertaining and calming to watch. Okay. So what has changed that they're not? I have never produced entertainment content. Okay. So obviously your perspective of what is entertaining has changed, because my content has never been entertaining, never been entertainment. It's always been education. If you think education is entertaining, such as myself, then why don't you still like it? You have not expressed those and calming to watch. Okay, so that is one that I've heard a lot. People say I'm calming all the time. They said that all the time, so thank you. Here's where we get a bit on the manipulative side. You talked about things that weren't negative or controversial. Let's take a step back to those years. Some of the first content that I ever made, when I've been talking about, you know, depression, suicide, anxiety, stress. That's not negative, Sam? That's not negative? Really? That's not negative. Suicide is not negative. Depression is not negative. Anxiety is not negative. Stress or whatever else. That's not negative to you? Those are negative things that people do not want in their life. Okay? Those are feeling really bad about yourself, when you're feeling depressed, it's a very negative feeling because you feel so down. People who are depressed don't say that this is a positive thing, that they want to be depressed. It's a negative thing. Okay? Now you can view it differently. You can bring yourself up, which is what I talk about. But I'm just curious. And on the topic of controversial, guess what? Mental health is a controversial subject matter. Okay? Ever since day one, I was talking about, the first several videos I talked about, bipolar, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, dissociative identity disorder. Guess what, Sam? Every single one of those is controversial. Why are they controversial? Because they're mental health conditions. Okay? So, to everyone watching here, do you see that manipulative tactic there? So they say these things. They say these things here that are not based in reality, okay? They say things, oh, you weren't negative or controversial back then. When in reality, I was, okay? I was very, not so much negative, but I was talking about those negative things. I remember so many people saying, you shine a light in the darkness, okay? Just think about that for a moment, okay? These things are very negative to talk about. No one wants to talk about them, but I go into that darkness and I talk about them to shine light in there. Okay? That's a positive thing, what I'm doing, but talking about something negative and controversial. Okay? Ever since the beginning, I talked about psychiatric medication and how, I didn't talk about the specifics of it, but I said, it's not something that should be done there. That's controversial because that goes against the popular opinion that doesn't have any science behind it. You were professional and didn't try to upset anyone. Well, guess what, Sam? I am still very professional with my content. If you've ever seen it, obviously you haven't seen anything recently. And I didn't try to upset anyone. Well, guess what? That's what we call being a people pleaser. And back then, I was more of a people pleaser. I did not want to speak what I truly thought about these things. Okay? Over the years, I've learned to speak up and talk truly about how I feel about things. And guess what? People don't like to hear that. People want to hear a side of you that is not genuine. Okay? So once I started being genuine, guess what, Sam? You didn't like that. You didn't like me being genuine. Yes, I have changed, I've grown, and I've grown to be more confident to speak my opinions and perspectives. You don't like that. You want to reminisce on a past self that was not happy, that was hiding, that was blocking so much out. Why? Is that perhaps what you do in your life and that maybe you need some help on? Because remember now, how you judge other people is a reflection of yourself. So maybe it's you who's hiding things deep down. I don't know. Okay, whatever it is, I hope you can remedy that and overcome that. Now I feel like most of your content is complaining about things. Oh, I'm complaining right now, aren't I, Sam? I'm complaining right now about your comment. So again, I specifically asked them for examples. They can't give me any examples because most people can't, because they're just making up a lie. So what exactly is complaining? Is the truth a complaint? Is saying that there's, pesticides in your food that are causing cancer and autoimmune disorders? Is that a complaint, or is that the reality of what's happening? Because that's what I've talked about, if that's one of the examples. What about when I talk about people who glamorize mental health online, which I have a video only for Patreon supporters at the moment coming out. Yes, that's a bit more of a complaint, but I see it as something that's so negative, which I think is why so many people have changed recently. Well, the world has changed, as you can see. A lot of the younger people promote this stigmatization. It's sad. And that's how I see it. When people are making memes of these mental health conditions, and they're mocking depression. Even people with depression mocking depression. It's so sad. Yeah, you can call that a complaint. I can kind of see that there. But I'm doing it so people understand that this is not the right way of approaching mental health. Also, your personality significantly changed. Yes, for the better. It's kind of upsetting, to be honest. You were one of my favorite YouTubers and now you're faded into nothing. So again, that is another type of blame there, to bring me down, to say, I loved you so much, but now, because of you, because of your actions, because of how you've improved your life, because of how you've overcome these things, I can't stand you anymore, and now you're a ghost to me. You don't exist anymore. Well, Sam, I hope whatever it is that's going on in your life, you get this sorted out, because I think that this comment here and this person, very, very manipulative. I think this person was intentionally trying to bring me down in a way. But guess what, Sam? I've just now exposed everything here. And I've pointed out, what I believe in, what things you've said that are completely inaccurate, and the very fact that most people like you don't give any examples. If you don't give examples, if you don't have proof of your claims, if you don't have any sort of evidence to back up your claims, why should anyone believe you or take you seriously? You may be saying, well, you don't have any proof of this and that. It's like, that's why I started making videos with the resources there for people to look at. Did anyone look at those resources? No, they did not, despite the fact that well, I'm sure that there were plenty of people who did, but let's just say the more controversial stuff, okay? If I'm sitting here talking about, chemtrails, for example, okay, that's a very controversial subject matter. But if I provide you with evidence there, then you can't say I didn't provide you with evidence. If you're saying that I'm just pulling stuff out of that invisible hat, when I have provided you stuff, you can't say that I haven't provided you anything. This person has not provided any sort of evidence whatsoever, and I doubt that they even will. Okay, because they don't have any evidence, is what I think it is. And again, Sam, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go ahead and give me some evidence to back up those claims. But I'm not going to take this seriously. And if you are being serious, Sam, then again, I apologize. Actually, I'm not going to apologize because I've only improved my life. Okay, so I hope that whatever is going on with you, that you can find happiness within you. Okay, I think it's just you've outgrown the type of content that I produce, which is helpful educational material. Okay, you're in a place that is very different from me now. Okay, people cross paths, they connect, then they drift apart. That's the way life works. That's how things are. So you can see me however you want to see me, Sam. Okay? So hopefully this addresses. This went on way longer than I was anticipating. So thank you all for watching this. You all take care. I'm going to be late to the stream tonight. I really am. The live stream. I'm going to be late. So I'm going to head off here now. You all take care. Have a great weekend ahead, and I'll catch you tomorrow for something else, okay? Bye-bye.